Hey, it's January 21st. It's about 11:03 a.m. New York Eastern Standard Time. After finding a few periodicals at the swimming pool that I attend, the swim facility, I started to write blogs this last week. I started to confront personal feelings. I'm starting to develop some kind of a sense of personal conviction, and I don't care if it appears to be crude or harsh. It's not necessarily anything new for me. I've been living with my personal story as a matter of fact, and I've been working with it through professional counseling and psychologists and things for the past 10 years, and I end up with some of the same end result equations, for some of the circumstances and situations that I seem to not be able to digest. I basically have a developed worldview from my experiences. I've had a pretty awesome story so far. And I'd like to continue to say, every day above ground, every day you wake up, count your blessings, thank God. It's a good day. Somehow it's got to be precious, whether you want to look at it or not that way. It's got to have meaning, it's got to have value, it's got to have worth. So I'm trying to find the worth. I started off by saying I found these magazines that I read all the time. My son reads all the time. I always have things I'm always reading. I'm always looking to feed my head, as they say. So I found this magazine called Intelligence Report Winter 2009. It's published by the Southern Poverty Law Center. This, with the MSN homepage from the last week of January, let's say January 15th, say, I've been freaking out, maybe, reacting to the Haiti earthquake, the commentary surrounding it. On a personal note, I don't know why, but the news that Artie Lang, the comedian from the Howard Stern show and Mad TV, and the stand-up comic guy, the young guy my age, that's how I look at it, tried to kill himself after stabbing himself. I mean, I keep reading more bad news. The idea that there's this $45 million payout to Conan O'Brien for NBC to walk away from the Late Show in New York. I'm thinking, what about all the kids who got to scrimp and suffer, more or less, trying to frickin' go to school? There's got to be better ways to our Governor Patterson is trying to, come up with a fiscally responsible, tightening the belt for our New York budget because we're so far over our heads. But millions and millions of dollars are spent in private sector enterprise for, I'm not a communist, believe me, I'm not. But so I started out, disgruntled after I read this intelligence report. This is right before Martin Luther King Day. I got this thing. And it's like I say, the Southern Poverty Law Center publication, intelligence report. Children of hate, 3 who fought back, children of racist upbringing, trying to make a name for themselves with prominent racism, racist leaders, and they have skinhead pictures in here, and teddy bears with the saluting like Nazis with boots and red suspenders, because the red suspenders indicate that they were spilling blood for their cause, and all. And they're giving away teddy bears for it at fundraisers with with their Nazi flags. And I live in upstate New York, where it's close to the Adirondacks, where it's not uncommon that, you know, with the loggers and people in general, that there's an attitude up here, you know, that look like that look like the you know, the separate movement thing. So I got socially aware, more or less, between my guitar tracks and trying to take care of my son with our day-to-day laundry, groceries, routine, take him to school, pick him up from school, our little existence here on my Social Security check. With that, I want to say that I got personal feelings dredged up, maybe looking for a way to stimulate my personal, you know, experience here instead of getting so mundane and depressed around here, because I don't have cable TV. I don't have a lifestyle where I want to sit down and, you know, kind of propagate more of the same. I'm really desperately trying to pick myself up and move forward and make some, you know, decisions about possibly going back to school, where I'm going to go to school for a bachelor program. I'm trying to decide upon a major, but more importantly, what kind of curriculum, what kind of people I'm going to be, you know, kind of studying with and going to school with, because it's been a fiasco to earn the first portion of the associate degree that I had so far at my age, in my current location, under my present circumstances, as it has been. So I'm thinking about school. I'm thinking about changes. I'm thinking about my choices and my options of who I got to let go, what I got to let go, and how I got to let go to pick up the new thing correctly, to be less distracted and to move, you know, a little more unhindered. So I've been confronting personality issues that, you know, people from the past, and, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody to the point of no return. You know, I hope nobody harms me for my my personal point of view. But the long story short is, you know, I thank God I got the federal government on my side. Number one, that I am Social Security disability eligible, that I am an honorably discharged veteran after so many years since I was in active duty U.S. Army infantry service overseas. In Germany and NATO, and you know, I look upon the federal government as keeping me alive when nobody else wanted to or would have, when everybody else shut their doors, and they didn't care if I walked the street homeless and starving. And that goes for my marriages, my personal family, and the people that I had indicated in my other previous videos regarding professional working relationships, especially the recording people that I tried to cooperate with for a number of years under the I want to say the auspice, I'm not sure if that's the right word, that the idea was that we were going for Kaufman Management Group, which was, I was told through these people that I was working with, was the management company that was handling Smashing Pumpkins and the Rolling Stones, while and they were trying to pursue a deal with, you know, of their own, while they were trying to co-op a deal with their other major label or major music partner in the band Boston. And I never was told I was in the band Boston, number one. I never ever presented the notion that I was in the band Boston, but I was presented with the notion that I was involved with their band in some capacity over years, not as an alternate, even though they had this other guy that they ended up giving the credits to for songs that I wrote, that they had him go in and re-record more or less stripped down versions of what I did, a little bit more true to the way my cousin played his guitar, to the click track, the way he interpreted the click at the time. He was very, we were not confident in terms of recording with the click tracks back then.